Howdy and hello, I'm Doe. Hope you're doing good. Helldivers 2 Escalation of Freedom announcement. More content. They start off HMG.
Since launch, we've improved Helldivers quite significantly together with you, the community. We've released a lot of content, such as the flyers, the TCS missions.
I like the gunships.
The destruction of an entire planet. This time around, we've got something special prepared for you.
It's our first step out of many, where we're gonna expand the game in big, meaningful ways.
New game modes, new objectives, new enemies, and even a whole new difficulty.
To give you that, we have to escalate it. An escalation of freedom. When freedom escalates, its opponents escalate.
We're bringing back a fan favorite from Helldivers 1, the stabby, tentacled beast known as the Impaler.
I know that guy. I've seen him.
Playing against the Terminids, you can always try and run away. The Impaler,
he's the one that makes the tentacles.
They will maybe cut off your escape route.
I remember.
You will probably have to stay and fight. Or you can fight the tentacles.
The Spore Charger. This one has fog traveling around it. It's constantly moving, so it's going to come right out of the fog and scare the lights out of you.
The automatons are bringing in artillery.
A big tank that shoots rockets.
If you're further away, you
Thank God there's no aimbot on it.
The skies and fire rockets in the air, so you have a barrage coming down on you.
In addition, you'll face off against heavier, more deadly brood commanders.
With a small twist. The allies that it spawn will not be the ones that you used to.
Difficulty 10 has more enemies than we've had before on lower difficulties. We've really ramped it up. It's meant to feel like a real progression from 9 to 10.
We're also introducing a larger type of outpost, and it's going to be a real challenge to take on these massive fortresses. But if you manage to do so, there will be great rewards waiting for you.
Shambles.
Of course, what would the galaxy be without planets? Therefore, we wanted to spook it up with a new version of the swamp environment.
Okay.
The Acid Storm weather effect now comes with a new mechanic. It reduces the armor of enemies and Helldivers alike. You'll do a lot more damage, but you'll also take more in return.
That's pretty cool.
Which is just as horrifying as it sounds.
When can Gas Strike get that bonus though?
In Escalation of Freedom, we have new objectives coming in, like the Retrieve Larva mission.
Still babies, I told you.
Backpack with little crying larvae
babies
you need to reach the extraction with.
See what they are, brother.
But you also have to be careful because it's gonna be crying a lot, and you're getting swarmed by more and more Terminids.
The Ensign Breaker's still there.
With the second Galactic War in full swing, Super Earth is currently battling the automatons and the bugs for control of the Milky Way. The Automaton Legion, they are constantly building bigger and worse war machines. The Terminids' migration patterns seem to be changing. There's also been some irregular readings of the Terminid spores in the various sectors where the Terminids are spreading. And we will see where the story develops from here.
So, have we told you everything that's gonna be in the Escalation of Freedom? Of course we haven't.
We have many more surprises in store for you.
A surprise here and there that you maybe didn't expect.
On August 6th, I'm ready to dive, and I hope you are too.
It seems fun. That's what I'm looking for these days. Just don't buff Billy Bob with the blicky. He's getting buffed. This update came out of nowhere, and folks kept asking me, when you playing Helldivers 2 again? Why'd you quit? You jumped ship for Helldivers 2, didn't you? And to answer these questions, I wasn't having fun playing it, so I stopped playing it. And TFD, same thing happened. I played it, I had a little bit of fun, and then I quit when I wasn't having fun anymore. And in both cases, I should have kept making content because it made me money. But I didn't enjoy it. Bad business move, but it'd be what it'd be. Now, this update looks enjoyable, though. We have another difficulty, which is, it seems like a fun time. We'll see how it plays out. We have more enemies, which I love. I love testing weapons against more enemies. It is a good time for me. Those videos are my favorite to make in the game so far. And the challenge of beating the higher difficulty is there. We'll see if it's a good time or not. Time will tell. Then we have different missions. This is a big deal. Different missions changes how you play the game in its entirety. And so do new enemies. Well, enemies kind of, but different missions for sure. And it's just an exciting time. New maps, which could also just mean a new PC, because the recent maps we got lagged out my PC like crazy with the frame, so that might be unfortunate. We'll see what happens. But my main hope here is that the things they didn't announce will just be meaningful buffs to weapons that don't feel that great to use. Just make it so support weapons are fun to use. That's all that really has to happen. The two main things that maybe not, well, I guess there's three main things that maybe not really enjoy Helldivers 2 for a while is the mission design is just really simple and straightforward and bland in a sense. There's not as much support weapon and stratagem variety that I'm looking for because viability isn't really emphasized. Instead, it's this idea of relying on your teammates, which you don't have to do. Just take the good stuff and there's no reliance needed whatsoever still. So why not just make it so more things feel fun to use? Especially now that we have a higher difficulty and more enemies, I feel like that's going to be the move. Otherwise, they'll just make it so folks rely on their teammates to do what? Well, they rely on only if they take the bad weapons and the bad stratagems. On the same note, can we remove the scatter modifier that you get in certain missions against the bugs that make your orbitals miss? People just voted that eagles are better than orbitals, which is true, and yet we still have the thing that makes your orbitals miss. I think it's time to get rid of it. It's just me. And the last thing, I suppose, would just be that enemies don't feel fun to play against in some cases, especially the automatons for certain people. I love the automatons, but they've been made to be less enjoyable to play against because of all the changes. Some of them were unintentional. They increased their accuracy by reducing their spread. That was a not very fun update at all for me. And before that, I loved the automatons. They were my favorite pretty early on, I would say. If any of these things change on top of all the stuff we're getting in the update, I'm excited. If they add cosmetics you can earn through gameplay, in the sense of a challenge, because right now you can get cosmetics by playing the game. You can get super credits and whatnot, ooh. But I'm talking more of a prestigious thing. You do X, you get Y. And Y is gouted drip. If that happens, I'm interested heavily. That stuff is really fun for me. Big fan. And aside from that, just give me a sample heist. Give me a mission where you got suitcases of samples being carried by automatons, a sample vault. You have a sample underground thing being guarded by bugs. When's the underground mission coming out? That's the real comeback stuff right there. And of course, potentially in the future, we'll get the Illuminate, but underground missions are way cooler. Let's be honest, folks. Anyway, that's the video. Have a good day. Peace.